2024. I hesitate to say that year because for me it's hard to believe that we're in 2024. We should have been driving airplane cars and, had colonies on Mars. But instead what we have is our nation in chaos, our city being ran by corrupt so-called politicians. But we'll get into that. Today, again, I have the great honor and privilege to be here with my friend Max. Max is running for mayor of Miami. And I have endorsed him every single time he's run for anything. Why? Because I think he's the best guy for the job. And the best guy doesn't mean the most intelligent or capable. The best guy means the one that's well-rounded in every aspect, but more particularly in honesty and sincerity. Max?
Thanks for having me, as always.
Great to see you again. Let's do our little traditional cafecito toast to everyone out there.
Delicious, thank you.
Max, you want to be mayor?
I do.
This week, how many shootings have you had in the city of Miami?
I believe four. Is the number.
And the latest one caused a horrendous fire at the building located at 431 Northwest 3rd Street. Okay, it's all over the news. And the sad part about it is that not only were people shot there, although that building is now condemned, and everybody's life is going to be displaced because of this fire.
Well, let's talk about what was found inside the fire.
Please, enlighten us.
A dead body. You tell me, as a former police officer of 27 years, what does it mean to find a dead, shot-up body inside of a burning building?
Well, what really compounds this is, now that you mentioned my experience as a police officer for 27 years, is that this was called in as a fire and not a shooting.
Well, it was apparently the first 3-alarm fire in the city of Miami in the past 25 years, so that's a lot of smoke.
I'm going to tell you that is a horrendous lie.
Okay.
It's a horrendous exaggeration.
Okay.
But of course, who made that I don't know, presumption or know-it-all statement?
Probably the mayor.
Who? Francisi?
You called him that.
Oh, I call him that, and so does everybody else call him that.
Yeah, but yes, him.
Francisi Corn Suarez.
Yeah.
The guy that bought his way into being the mayor of the city of Miami.
Yeah.
And I don't hold anything back. I've known Francisi since he was 8 years old, and I know all about him. And that's why about 4.5 years ago, when I was interviewed by Miami Herald, and they asked me what did I think that Francisi's legacy as the mayor was going to be, and I declared it. It's in the Herald. You can look it up. I said Francisi is going to be the worst mayor that the city of Miami has ever had. In fact, I said he was going to replace Carollo as the worst mayor of Miami and replace his own father as the worst mayor of Miami, Carollo, because of all his corruption and all his bullying and abusing power that he doesn't have. And then his daddy doing the same thing, with a voter fraud. The only mayor's been kicked out of office for buying votes via fraud. Dead people voting.
Yep, dead people voting and everything. And I don't think it's too far off to say that he has been the worst mayor ever. And I'm not even saying that as a former opponent. I'm just saying, look at the facts. The city of Miami is getting an MLS stadium for a team they don't need. They had a mayor who spent a year of his last term campaigning to be the Republican nominee for President of the United States. That is absolutely crazy. But what's even
Well, you know-
crazier than that is who's paying for it.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because here is my arrogant, and everybody just say, asshole Pichelle, making his comment again. And I'm going to quote, because I love quoting. Okay? Again, I'm a student of history. I love everything about history and astrophysics. And you said, a magical word, stupid. Well, I'm going to go through one of my favorite movies by one of my favorite actors, multiple Oscar winner, Mr. Hanks. And he said in one of my favorite movies, stupid is as stupid does. And I've known stupid since he was 8 years old. And I didn't say that because out of retaliation, out of envy, jealousy, I could care less. I said it after memory and historical facts of his character, the way he's always been. He's always been a brat. He's always been jealous and envious. If you don't agree with him, you're out of his life forever. A complete, total narcissist.
Totally.
Okay, including his size. Because 90% of all narcissists are just short guys.
I mean, when you haven't accomplished anything as mayor of a municipality, to then believe that you should be the next president of the United States takes a delusion / an entitlement that only one person on this world truly can say they have. And that's just the actual fact of the matter. But to tie that into everything, what is he doing to stop these shootings from occurring? Well, he's got that car just sitting in front of his house waiting.
What car?
The police car.
You mean a marked police unit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A marked police, and how much does that cost a year?
Oh, no. Let's just go by month.
Okay.
All right? Let's go by month. I'm glad you're asking that question because, when I ran all my narcotics and prostitution squad, and did for like, 5-6 years, we cleaned up the entire Wynwood. Okay? And I had 15, maybe max, no pun intended, 18 police officers. And with that group, we cleaned up Wynwood. And look at Wynwood, it's not even Wynwood now, it's Midtown and whatever they want to call it. Beautiful place, lots of businesses, lots of jobs created. That police car sitting in front of that house that we're paying for. First of all, the car costs about, after they put the GPS and the lights and the overpriced computer in that police car with the radio equipment, and then they put that intolerable torture chamber in the back seat.
Okay, so the car plus the work hours, how much?
Well, wait, the car alone, we're talking about, out of our pockets, a good $70,000, $80,000.
Okay, so that's essentially just an $80,000 barricade.
Rock.
Barricade rock, they're used all over the city.
No,
This one is barricade.
okay. All right, so, no, let's add up some more. The fuel. That car sitting in front of the house burns through 3/4 of a tank of fuel in 8 hours.
I believe it.
And that's because it's idling. Okay? So we're talking about, let's say, a tank and a half of gas per shift.
Mm-hmm.
All right? We're talking about what? Let's say $250.
Okay.
We're not talking about the maintenance. What does the oil change cost every 7,000 miles?
For a police car, I have no clue.
Okay, let's just run it out to anybody's car.
Okay.
All right, let's say, you go to the cheapest place here, all right? I don't even know if it exists anymore. They're going to charge you $70.
Okay.
Who's paying for that? We are.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the police officer. What do they make an hour?
I'm not sure what that specific police officer.
And we're just talking about a regular cop.
Okay.
We're not talking about, a sergeant, lieutenant. All right, let's say he's making.
I want to know how much the guy or the woman that is in front of that house in that car is making.
Well, I'm going to break it down for you. They're making between $35 and $40 an hour.
Okay.
That's not including medical, That's not including dental. That's not including the training. That's not including the uniform. The cleaning of that uniform. Right? That's not including vacation time that contractually they're entitled to.
Okay, but add all of that up.
Well, if you add all that up and you break it down, that car right there in front of that house is costing us monthly $30,000.
Monthly $30,000, which means
And I'm
$360,000 a year. And what is the purpose of that car and that person and that whole situation? To give the entitlement of protection to someone who believes that they are extremely special and live on just a regular street in Coconut Grove.
Well, again, we got to go back into the mentality of that person. And I said it before. He's an egotistical maniac, and people like that are so paranoid that they have to have protection everywhere because it makes them feel more powerful than you are.
I think it's being surrounded by the protection that makes them feel more powerful, because as far as I know, there's never been any calls on his life or anything like no one has any reason to kill that guy.
Even the police officer, even the police chiefs.
They're glorified cameramen these days.
Exactly. Even the police chief. I said, no, we have no credible threats of any kind. So what makes this embezzler and liar more special than your grandmother?
And that's the thing.
Anybody's grandmother.
No one no one is worth more than that. And the fact that we're dedicating $360,000 a year of resources.
We're not getting dedicated, I'm sorry.
No, but that's what
we've been embezzled.
Okay, embezzled, whatever. My point is the budget is saying $360,000 goes to this car and this officer. Meanwhile, there are 4 shootings in a week at the beginning of June. So you tell me if that guy's safety is being treated the same as the residents of the city.
Well, first of all, he's not a resident of the city.
He lives on Battersea, so...
But he's not, in his mentality, his arrogance, he's not. He allows us to live in his city. Because that's the way that Francis Korn thinks. That's the way he has always acted. Even as a kid, it was the same way. Other kids say, we don't want to be around this guy. He's just arrogant. I'm going to tell you a story that many people don't know. When his daddy, Mayor Fuad Suarez, voted Fuad Suarez, was the mayor, I remember that Francisi decided to take all his high school friends.
I remember you telling me this story, and it's hilarious.
All right, taking all his high school friends. I believe it was a Saturday night, or maybe during the week. It doesn't matter.
And where were they doing it?
Well, they decided they were going to go play paintball. All right, back then, paintball was very popular. There were a lot of parks that you could go anywhere.
Where did they decide?
So, without any authority, any permission, without asking anybody, he takes his whole gang of hoodlums, all decked out in paintball garb and their paintball guns, and they invade the Melreese golf course.
Yep, dressed as armed assassins.
Exactly. So, back then, we didn't have SWAT like we have now, where they get out and they're all decked out and bulletproof everything. Back then, it was, we got a SWAT call. You got a cop that was patrolling the street in uniform. Most of them didn't wear vests back then because vests were kind of a novelty back then. And you pull them off the street, and you give them a rifle, and they turn their hat back over, and we're the SWAT. So the entire SWAT team had to surround the entire perimeter of Melreese Golf Course, which back then was double size that it is now. And it took all night to finally get these imbeciles to get out of there Luckily, nobody was killed or shot, even though they had every right to do so.
And that's the privilege of being the mayor's son.
And nothing happened at all. You know what? Let's take a break. We're going to continue this very interesting story, Max. Thanks again for being here. We'll be back soon. God bless you, Max.
Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in to Miami Revealed with Frank. My name is Max Martinez, and I will be the next mayor of the city of Miami in 2025. My socials are Max for MIA and maxformia.com. Thanks a lot, and I hope to get your vote in 2025.
You'll get mine, Max, and God bless America.